When Syracuse and Virginia meet in lacrosse, spectacular highlights are guaranteed. Last year in the Final Four, they combined for 29 goals. Unfortunately for the Orange Men, 6 straight in the fourth quarter were scored by Virginia.
Markers down on the field. Virginia feeds and scores!
They were on a roll. We made some classic mistakes. We had many chances to put them away. Even in the overtime, we owned the ball. They had a penalty.
Syracuse not really settled on defense. Watson scores! It's over! The freshman sends Virginia to the national championship.
Super Sports, the Cable Ace Award-winning production of Adelphia Cable Communications, presents NCAA Lacrosse from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. Tonight, it's the undefeated Virginia Cavaliers against the top-ranked and undefeated Syracuse Orangemen. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm Dan Horde, and we are delighted to have you watching our Super Sports coverage of SU Lacrosse. Tonight, a March matchup that we could see again in May. These two teams could meet again in this year's Final Four. Tonight, working with me, one of the greatest players in SU Lacrosse history, Paul Gate. And Paul, Syracuse head coach Roy Simmons Jr. downplays the revenge angle from that game about 9.5 months ago. You've been in the locker room. You know what it's like as a player. Are the Orangemen thinking about revenge from last year's Final Four game?
Well, Coach Simmons may not be thinking about that, but I tell you, the players sure are. When you go out and lose in the semifinal game that you were up and leading in the first half and basically blow the game, I think the players are thinking revenge. They want to win. They want to prove a point tonight.
Syracuse lost in the semifinals in overtime. Virginia lost the national championship in overtime to Princeton. Last Saturday, Virginia got revenge by beating Princeton solidly. Virginia doesn't have the same team as last year. Quite a few of the attack and midfielders are back, but their defense has changed dramatically. And Dom Starzia talked about that before the game.
Our greatest transition is clearly at the defensive end of the field, where we graduated 3 defensemen that played a great deal for us and our starting goalie. And so we're quite young and a bit untested at the defensive end of the field.
Those are big losses for Virginia, particularly goalie James Ireland. But on the other hand, Virginia's younger defensive players are facing young Syracuse offensive players. With guys like Dom Finn and Charlie Lockwood gone, Syracuse is counting on some younger guys to score points this season.
Well, with players like Kavovit and Powell picking up the pace like we saw last week, I think you're going to see those players try and step up again this week and lead the Orangemen offensively.
Powell had 5 goals against Yale, and Rob Kavovit 7 assists in the solid victory over Yale last week. Well, Syracuse has had some changes too, but one thing that remains solid for Syracuse, the defense. 3 great seniors are back this season, and those guys will have to put the clamps on a very talented Virginia offensive unit.
If we don't have the best tackle in the country, and Hopkins doesn't, then I think maybe Virginia does. They're good. You can't watch all 3 of them all the time. But we have pretty decent defense, so maybe we can.
Well, March Madness is primarily a basketball term, but we've got the same atmosphere tonight here at the Carrier Dome. Stay tuned. A great game between Syracuse and Virginia coming up on Super Sports. Well, it's spring break on the SU campus, but no break for the SU lacrosse team. Virginia tonight, Johns Hopkins coming up on Saturday. Joined tonight by 3-time All-American Paul Gate. How did you used to feel about playing tough games like this early in the season? These are games you really look forward to in the Final Four and in the playoffs.
Well, this is the time of year that you find out what you're made of. You know, if you have any weaknesses, you're going to find them out here, and then you get the rest of the year to work on them, and then enter the playoffs, hopefully having corrected those mistakes or weak areas.
We take a look at the starters for Virginia. The outstanding attack, Doug Knight, who already has 15 goals, Tim Whiteley, and Mike Watson. Watson scored that overtime goal that beat Syracuse in the Final Four. The middies, Tony Nugent, who's the face-off specialist, David Jones, and Greg Traynor. At defense for the Cavs, Carl Zeller, Tommy Smith, who's from Fayetteville Manlius High, and Joe Wilson. The goalie replacing James Ireland is Court Durling. And there is Durling, who has made 44 saves in the first 4 Cavaliers games. Head coach Dom Starzia in his 3rd year at Virginia after 10 years at Brown. We'll get to the Syracuse starters in just a bit. We can tell you that Toby Price will handle face-off duties to begin the game for the Orange Men. Syracuse in white, Virginia in blue. And the opening face-off controlled by Syracuse. Roy Colsey with the ball. Colsey with 5 goals in Syracuse's first 2 games this season. Colsey fires the shot. It's high. Syracuse behind the cage to maintain possession.
And that's pretty much what we're going to see all night. It's going to be a run and gun game, and there are going to be a lot of shots, a lot of transition.
Morrissey, Kavovit, and Powell the starting attack for Syracuse. Powell, the highly touted freshman from Carthage, wearing the number 22. Made famous, of course, by Paul Gates' brother Gary. There's a shot, knocked down by the goalie, Court Durling, and his pass upfield, intercepted by Roy Colsey.
That one just flew out of his stick there. Obviously, he was trying to make the outlet pass a lot shorter than that.
Casey Powell working behind the cage, the spin move. Tommy Smith from Fayetteville Manlius guarding Powell the first time around. Now it's Colsey. Tried the bounce shot, never got through to Durling. Ball loose on the AstroTurf, picked up by Virginia. Big hit applied by Dave Signor of Syracuse. Virginia has the ball. The Cavs' first shot goes wide. And Syracuse goalie Alex Rozier, hustling behind the cage, was closest to the end line. There's Syracuse's midfield, Colsey, Fietta, and Sullivan. Price also mentioned because he handles face-off duties. 3 All-America candidates, Chad Smith, Hans Schmid, and Rick Beardsley forming the defense. All captains for Syracuse. Alex Rozier back for his second year as the starting goalie. The Orangemen with the ball, rushing toward the cage. Bounces loose to Jim Morrissey out of Skaneateles. And Virginia able to take it away before Syracuse could get off a shot. Big stick, Tommy Smith crossing the midfield line.
You can see we've already had 4 shots in the first 2 minutes here, and it's going to be a fast-paced game. I don't think Virginia's going to slow it down too much here. They're going to look to go to the net, get the ball to the attack and have some cutters.
There aren't many teams that can run with Syracuse, but Virginia appears to be one. Near takeaway there by Syracuse, but Virginia was able to control. This is Doug Knight, Virginia's leading scorer, and Rick Beardsley has the assignment of covering him. Now it's the speedy Michael Watson. Chad Smith with the takeaway. Push on Syracuse, Virginia holds the ball.
And right there, he just basically hit him from behind. As you watch here, the double team comes, and it comes late. The ball's already down the ground. The double team comes in right on his back, knocks him over.
Virginia looking for its first shot on goal. Mark Dixon. He'll shoot. Bounce shot went way high. And Virginia is there. Roy Simmons Jr. in his 25th year as the head coach at Syracuse. 246 wins, 84 defeats, and a record 5 national championships. Another shot fired by Virginia. Harmar Thompson ripped that one wide.
The way that Syracuse puts so much pressure on the ball carrier, you're going to see a lot of one-on-one. And pretty much it forces you either go to the net or get rid of the ball. So you're going to see a lot of that one-on-one today.
Andrew Dausch passing back, and again this is Thompson. Bounce shot, again wide of the mark, and Virginia's there.
Well, if you're going to miss a shot, you don't want the goalie to make a save. You want it to hit the end line so that your attackman can get the ball back again.
Doug Knight with the pass. Slick move. Nice save by Rozier, his first of the night. Mark Dixon had the open shot. Now Syracuse has the ball. Rick Beardsley. Tough to take the ball away from, but his pass missed Fietta. Thompson shoots. Blocked in front by Beardsley. And his pass upfield will be run down by Colsey. Colsey has room to operate. Colsey toward the cage, shoots and scores! And Syracuse is on the board first.
Syracuse takes the ball from here. Rick looks up and misses the pass here, Roy, but he chases it down. And right from here, we talk about transition. He's coming in. He's not stopping. He takes a shot and buried it in the top corner. Not too many people that can shoot like that.
Roy Colsey's 6th goal of the season. He is one behind team leader Casey Powell, and you see Syracuse on top 1-0 about 3.5 minutes into the game. Second face-off of the game, again picked up by Syracuse. The Orange men 2 for 2 in the face-off department.
That's an important part. I think they struggled against Yale last week. They didn't win very many face-offs, and it hurt them early, and they ended up having to use a fast break and not basically avoid the face-off.
Kavovit with a good pass to the cutter, Paul Sullivan. His shot did not make it through. And there's a penalty on Chad Smith. The ball will be awarded to Virginia.
Basically, Chad there just slashed him right on the leg. Blatant, going for the stick and missed. Bound to happen.
Not a man down situation, but a penalty where the ball is awarded to Virginia. 10:46 left in the first quarter. The Orangemen on top, 1-0. Last year's Final Four game won by Virginia 15-14. Syracuse had a 5-1 lead after the first quarter. There's a takeaway by Mark Wittick, the defensive specialist. And the ball is picked up by Syracuse. Pass deflected over the sideline, and the ball goes to Virginia.
Well, when you get involved in a transition game, there's always going to be a lot of unforced errors, and we just saw one there.
Good takeaway by Wittick, who specializes in that. Virginia coming upfield. David Jones, guarded by Christian Fotopoulos. Michael Watson being watched by Rick Beardsley. They swing it to Tim Whiteley. And now Virginia will slow the pace with Greg Traynor. Third-team All-American at midfield last year. Traynor will shoot. Knocked down by Rozier. And picked up by Hans Schmid. His pass upfield did not find the intended Syracuse player, but the Orangemen still have a shot at the ball.
Again, we see those unforced errors, and we're going to see a lot of it tonight, I feel. Anytime you try and move up the ball, every time you get that transition going, you're bound to miss a few passes, make a few bad ones.
Each team with 5 shots so far, and Syracuse with a 1-0 lead. Now it's the goalie, Court Durling. Finds the open man in the middle of the field, Joe Wilson. He's a co-captain for Virginia. Bounce shot, saved by Rozier, who is playing brilliantly early. However, his pass intercepted by David Jones. Watson's bounce shot, blocked away by Rozier. Beardsley hustling after it, and Syracuse will get the ball. There's Rozier, who's off to a terrific start. Alex Rozier, about 15 to 20 pounds lighter than he was last year as Syracuse's starting goalie, and the Orangemen say he is much quicker as a result. Loose ball on the turf. 5 players converge. Batted into the air. Still loose. And finally controlled by Virginia. Now it's loose again. Picked up by Syracuse. No shot attempted, and Court Durling, the goalie, came away with the ball. Here come the Cavaliers. Michael Watson trying to get by Beardsley. Scoop shot over the crossbar and out of bounds. Ball back in play. 8:20 left in the quarter. Quick shot and another save by Rozier. Great look upfield to Colsey. Colsey has the ball knocked away, but Syracuse controls. And a good opportunity for the Orange. Doug Jackson out of Jamesville DeWitt. Passing to Rob Kavovit, Syracuse's leading scorer so far this season. Kavovit with the move. His pass was high over the sideline, and the ball goes to Virginia. Good player for the Cavaliers. Brad Hogue, a midfielder, on the turf. Sophomore from Maryland.
He looks like he'll be all right, though. He's outstanding now, and probably see him back in the game.
And once again, Virginia with the ball. Cavs getting plenty of shots, but Alex Rozier pitching a shutout through the first half of the first quarter. Doug Knight, guarded by Chad Smith. Knight shoots and scores, and we're tied at 1. Sophomore Doug Knight with 15 goals coming into the game. Picks up his 16th to tie it at 1.
He's going one-on-one here, and again, defense is pressuring him behind the net, which is something not a lot of teams will do, but Syracuse feels they have the talent here, puts the pressure on. Unfortunately, you're going to get beat every now and then. Went over his head and took the chance and got beat.
Not much of an opening there either, and Doug Knight found it. Third face-off of the game, and Syracuse picks up another. Dave Signor with the ball. Signor shoots. Didn't have much on it. Court Durling with a save. And he throws way upfield. Ball loose on the turf. Christian Fotopoulos ran in front of the ball, and Rick Beardsley picked it up. Now it's Signor to Colsey. Colsey did not realize a player was coming up from behind. Managed to bat it back to Casey Powell. Behind the back to Colsey. Virginia comes away, but Colsey retrieves it. Tried to pass in front to Kavovit. Pass was a bit behind him, and the Cavaliers have the ball.
I think they're trying to force it a little bit now. They're making passes that probably wouldn't be made in any other game. You know, they feel it's a big one. They got to do it on transition. I think as soon as you try and make your whole game transition, you end up forcing a little. A lot of missed passes, a lot of balls checked away. It's something that maybe they should settle down now and try and get the ball around, get their legs under them.
The ground ball stat favors Syracuse, 10-5 in favor of the Orangemen early. And the Orangemen 3 for 3 in face-offs. Here's Doug Knight. And Syracuse takes it away. Nice pass there by Hans Schmidt. Now it's Colsey settling the offense for Syracuse. No, check that. Doug Jackson. Kavovit behind the cage. Mark Fietta even with the goal. Passing back to Paul Sullivan. All familiar names from last season. Now Kavovit has some room to pass. Fires to Fietta. Fietta shoots. Knocked away before it got to the cage. I don't think that was Durling making the save. It might have been. Obviously hit a stick somewhere in the pack.
And you can see that they want Kavovit to hold the ball behind. It worked very well against Yale, and I think they realize they have to slow it down here and get some ball possession. Right now they've been outshot 11-5, and they want to get some good quality shots. They need to slow it down at this point.
Paul Sullivan with the ball. Now running toward the middle of the field. Sullivan shoots. Did not get through to Durling. And Virginia runs upfield. Watson swinging around to his teammate Tim Whiteley. Now it's Doug Knight. Again Chad Smith. Tries to deny Knight and takes the ball away. Excellent defense by Smith, but the outlet pass picked off by Virginia. Sloppy pass by the Cavs, and Syracuse will get it.
It's good defense here. Chad here sets him up to go over the head and does. He's hanging his stick here, fakes the slap check and goes over his head, waits for it, comes down and knocks the ball loose. Great defense by Chad Smith.
There is Chad Smith, transfer from Army and a second-team All-American last season. Toby Price at midfield for Syracuse, finds Paul Sullivan. Sullivan passing it back. Jim Morrissey. Check that Mark Fietta shot. Stopped by Durling. And Syracuse has it. There is Junior Court Durling.
Nice shot here. He's got the opportunity. Could have taken it a little sooner. Just hits his leg. A little bit more to the right, and it was a goal.
Syracuse making some changes. Paul Carcaterra and Doug Jackson running off the field. Kavovit with the ball, running behind the cage. Joe Wilson defensively for Virginia. Pushing at him with a big stick. Now the pass to Powell. Powell's shot stopped by Durling.
That was just an outstanding save. Anytime you're one-on-one and the goalie comes up with a save, it has to pump up the defense. That's what they're looking for in a goaltender, especially with a young goaltender who has to prove himself here tonight. And so far, he's done a great job.
Virginia with it. We're tied at 1. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Sophomore Michael Watson with the pass. Pass back to Watson, out of bounds. Syracuse takes over. Greg Traynor running off the field after that errant pass.
Mark Fietta got a piece of his stick that time and deflected his stick so the ball went out of bounds. Good effort by Mark.
See the clears, percentages, fairly similar. Hans Schmid passing, and it's intercepted. Virginia. Looked for a second like there might be an unsettled situation, but Syracuse recovered quickly. Haven't had a man-up situation yet. Clean game so far between Syracuse and Virginia. Nick Licamelli guarding Tim Whiteley. Looked like Virginia wanted Whiteley to try to take advantage of that one-on-one matchup, but the pass was errant. Syracuse not liking the ruling as Virginia will keep the ball.
Well, now they're calling that a shot, and quite clearly it looked like a pass. I think Syracuse coaches believe it was a pass and wanted the call.
If it was a shot, it was nowhere near the cage.
If it was a shot, it certainly wasn't a good one.
Bit of a break there for Virginia. Here is Tony Nugent. Nugent from Baltimore. Nugent trying to work toward Rozier. Rozier came out of the cage and Nugent beat him with a low shot to give Virginia a 2-1 lead. Rozier gambled and it did not pay off in this case.
Again, we're in a one-on-one situation and double team. Rozier comes out. Double team is just too late there. Rick Beardsley tries to come across and help out. It's just too late.
So Syracuse tallied first in this game, and Virginia has come back. Doug Knight and then Tony Nugent. And the Cavs lead at 2-1. 2:55 left in the quarter.
A pushing call on Syracuse there.
David Jones with the ball for the Cavs. Virginia looking to take a 2-goal lead. Whiteley guarded by Hans Schmid. Schmid probably the steadiest of Syracuse's defensive players. Not as flashy as Beardsley or Smith, but consistently gets the job done. Now a penalty flag thrown. We will have a man-up situation for Virginia. Hans Schmid heading to the penalty area for 30 seconds.
It's going to be a holding call here.
Not a blatant one.
Not a blatant one, but I think the referees felt that he impeded his progress, and basically it looked like more of a slash to me, and the referees saw a hold.
In any case, the first man-up opportunity in this game for Virginia. 30 seconds to try to take advantage of the one-man advantage. Shot goes wide. Virginia holds on. 9 seconds left in the penalty to Hans Schmid. A lot of goals come after the penalty, though, when the player is trying to get back onto the field and into position. So you can add a few seconds to those penalties. Syracuse back to full strength.
I think Virginia will like to have seen more than one shot on that man up.
Cavs still controlling the ball. Good pass in front, and the shot by Doug Knight went wide. Virginia maintains possession. No, the call has been changed, and Syracuse will get it.
Here's a nice feed, and he's wide open in the middle, and a little bit of a late hit here, but Syracuse gets the call anyways.
And the Orangemen looking to tie. Paul Sullivan had it batted away. And Virginia comes up with a loose ball. Little more than a minute left in the first quarter. The Cavaliers leading 2-1. Tommy Smith. And the pass a bit behind the man he was aiming for. And it's picked up by Syracuse. 50 seconds left in the quarter. Rob Kavovit. Now it's Morrissey behind the Syracuse goal. Mark Fietta. Fietta draws the penalty. Fietta holds the ball. Sullivan has it. Penalty won't go into effect until Syracuse loses the ball. Sullivan wants a shot. Now it's loose on the turf, and the whistle blows. Syracuse will have a man-up situation with 16 seconds left in the quarter.
Well, let's wait and see if it's a minute or 30-second penalty here. Syracuse may opt to hold on to the ball if it's a minute penalty. He got him just up in the head there, as you can see, and knocked his head back a little there.
It is a 1-minute penalty.
Syracuse may opt to hold the ball till the end of the quarter and retain possession, starting next quarter.
16 seconds left in the quarter. Well, the Orangemen showing signs of wanting to get off a shot. 4 seconds left in the quarter, and now Syracuse will hold on to the ball and begin the second quarter with the ball and the one-man advantage. They'll have it for 44 seconds to begin the second quarter. So a clean first quarter, not as high scoring as we might have expected. Virginia leading Syracuse 2-1. Dan Hort and Paul Gate back at the Carrier Dome. Virginia leading Syracuse 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. The Cavaliers rallying from a 1-0 deficit and doing it against a talented Syracuse defense.
Syracuse probably got the best, most talented defense in the country. And so, you know, if you were looking for obvious cliche marquee matchups, you know, that would certainly be one of them.
Well, it certainly is a good matchup. And Virginia had more shots in the first quarter. Syracuse with a one-man advantage, though, to begin the second, looking to tie at 2. First man-up opportunity in this game for the Orange. Rob Kavovit with a pass, looking for Colsey, couldn't find him, but the ball is run down by sophomore Doug Jackson. 17 seconds left in the penalty. Kavovit, the pass, and the shot. I think it was a shot by Carcaterra, went wide.
That was definitely a wide shot.
About 10 seconds left in the penalty. This is Doug Jackson passing to Jim Morrissey, the senior behind the cage to Kavovit. Now it's his former high school teammate Carcaterra. Back to Jackson, around to Morrissey. Virginia back at full strength. Kavovit trying to find someone cutting. No one open in front of the cage. Freshman Casey Powell directs traffic. Gives it up to Jackson.
They're trying to get an invert behind here with the short stick, and Virginia players are just switching off. Here we go.
Powell with the move. Powell shoots. Durling with the save, and he manages to tug the ball back into the goalie's crease. High pass upfield by Virginia, and the Cavs could not control it. Syracuse gets the ball back.
It's a great stop here. The goalie just takes away the low shot there and blocks it with his knee, actually.
Both goalies have played well in the first half. Cord Durling for Virginia and Alex Rozier for Syracuse. High pass for Rick Beardsley. Saved momentarily by Nick Licamelli, but Virginia is able to come away. Quick passing by the Cavs, and the bounce shot produces Virginia's third goal of the game. Tim Whiteley on the scoreboard for the first time tonight, and the Cavs have scored 3 straight.
This is a perfect fast break opportunity here, and they execute well, moving the ball exactly where they should. Finally, the man one-on-one, burying it between the goalie's legs. It's exactly what you want to have. Great execution. You practice that every day in practice and hope you get a lot of chances to do it in a game. And you see the shot going high there, right between the goalie's legs.
5th goal of the year for Whiteley to go with 11 assists. And the Cavs are on top, 3-1. Jeff Schuschler getting an opportunity for a face-off for Syracuse, and the Orange men come up with the ball. Schuschler passing to Rob Kavovit. Now it's Casey Powell. Jim Morrissey. Morrissey being guarded by Carl Zeller. Syracuse makes some changes. Toby Price comes in along with Mark Fietta. Good catch there by Mark Fietta. The pass from Price a bit behind him. Sullivan shoots. Bouncer went wide. Paul Sullivan a bit angry with himself as he did not challenge Cord Durling with that shot.
Again, Syracuse needing to get more shots. Virginia has outshot them 17-10 now, so they need to get some more shots and get some more opportunities closer to the net. A lot of the shots have been taken from a long range, and your percentages just aren't going to be as good.
Penalty flag thrown. It'll be against Virginia. Shot and a score. Jim Morrissey on the scoreboard. And Syracuse is back to within 1. It's 3-2 Virginia.
Morrissey just makes a great move here. He gets the ball, does a spin dodge, and drops his stick and shoots right off the toe of the goalie. Anytime you don't know where to shoot, you just put it low and you have a good chance of scoring. The goalie stays high. Again, watch this angle here, right off his foot in the top corner.
And as you mentioned, Syracuse hadn't been getting many shots from close range. They got one there, and Durling had no chance.
Anytime there's a man in front as well, the screen, it's going to be a tough shot to save.
Not only does Syracuse get the goal, but the penalty is in effect against Virginia. It's a 1-minute penalty against the Cavs. However, the Cavs control the faceoff. Looking to score shorthanded.
And the penalty is released now, so they'll be all even.
As Virginia advanced the ball into the box. Virginia up 3-2. We're in the second quarter. David Jones will be watched by Roy Colsey. Colsey poking at him with a stick. Jones reverses direction. No one to pass to yet. Colsey pushing, keeping him away from the cage. Draws a hand from the Carrier Dome crowd. Now it's Michael Watson shooting. Shot went wide. Virginia's ball.
Roy Colsley playing good defense there, just keeping his body in good position, not trying to make any stick checks and go over the head and get himself out of position.
Colsley gets a break as he comes off the field. Defensive specialist Mike Whittick in the game for Syracuse. Now it's Whiteley who scored the last Virginia goal, pushed away by Schmid.
There's a late hit on Syracuse there. There's going to be a change of possession. Watch here as ball bounces loose. He missed the hit here.
Syracuse with the ball running upfield. Rick Beardsley passing back to Rob Cattlevick. Ten and a half minutes left in the first half. Morrissey surveying the field, finding out who he has on offense with him. Now it's Cattlevick operating against Joe Wilson. Tried to pass to the middle, picked off by the Cavs.
It's a fast break situation here again.
Greg Traynor, who has great speed, passing back. Jones with a bounce shot over the cage, and the Cavs are there.
Bounce that one too far out in front. Didn't even have a chance.
Tom Starzy in his third year at Brown. He and Syracuse head coach Roy Simmons Jr. get along very well. This is a friendly rivalry as Syracuse comes up with a takeaway. Hans Schmid peeling the ball away from Watson and then passing to the goalie Rozier. Now it's Colsey in the center of the field, passing to Chad Smith. Smith with a big stick. He'll take it into the box.
They'll slow it down. There's no break there. They'll slow it down. Wait for the attackman or Roy Colsley to come up from midfield.
Morrissey has it. Carl Zeller defends. Morrissey, the son of an SU lacrosse player. Here's Casey Powell, has an opening, passes in front. And it looked like Carcaterra took his eye off it for a second.
And Morrissey is playing with bruised ribs, I believe, tonight, so that may affect his game a little.
Greg Traynor for Virginia will shoot and score. Traynor going to the right-handed shot and got it inside the post to give Virginia a 4-2 lead.
He just takes the ball down the weak. He just takes the ball down the weak side here and it leaves a bit of an opening. Comes down, just hits the spot, which is, there's much room, and just puts it down that top corner. Rozier, not much of a chance there. It's basically a one-on-one. Just leaves that whole lane right to the net. When you're playing defense, you want to get out in front of him. There, he stayed beside him, leaving that lane to the net. You don't want to do that, you know, at any time in the game.
First goal of the game for Traynor. 4 different Virginia players have goals. Syracuse leading in the face-off category. Virginia has made a change there, going away from Tony Nugent, the usual face-off specialist, and it pays off. The Cavaliers with the ball. Andrew Dosh shoots and scores. 5-2 Virginia.
It's almost the identical play. Coming down that weak side. Right from the face-off here, you can see the ball's loose, and Virginia's going to end up with it here. He takes it right from the face-off. Just outruns the Syracuse defense players. Again, there's that same angle shot right in the top corner. Almost the exact same play that we just saw.
Dosh running away from Jeff Schuessler of Syracuse. Toby Price back in to try to take the face-off for Syracuse. Ball's loose. Fotopoulos poking at it. Virginia comes away. Another opportunity for the Cavs. Bad pass intended for Watson. Ball stays in bounds. It's picked up by Hans Schmid. Schmid runs away from Sean Miller of Virginia. Now it's Chad Smith. Smith tried to crank up the big stick. Didn't get off a clean shot, and Court Durling passes upfield.
Smith just lost control right before he went to shoot there, and the ball popped out of his stick.
Doug Knight maintained his balance after it looked like he was going to slip.
There's not too many teams that are going to have their big sticks take a man one-on-one like Chad did there, but they're confident in their stick skills. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off there.
Michael Watson looking for a cutter in front of the cage. Now Rick Beardsley picks him up. And Beardsley with the takeaway, getting it to Wittick. Wittick trying for the clear for Syracuse. Ball's loose. Virginia gets it. Trainer is open. They'll check that Doug Knight. Dosh. Shot goes wide. Looked like a wide open opportunity.
It's a great stop here. He's going to take away the one-on-one shot right in the top corner and blocks it. You got Rick Beardsley in the background trying to make the save as well. So you got two men in there.
Virginia with twice as many shots as Syracuse so far. Dosh lost it momentarily, but Virginia controls. Seems like most of this game has been played in Virginia's offensive end. Crease violation apparently on Virginia. And Syracuse comes upfield quickly. Unsettled situation. Fietta shoots. Shots wide. And Carcaterra runs after it for Syracuse. 6:30 left in the first half. Syracuse trailing 5-2. Colsey going one-on-one. His shot is high.
I think at this point Syracuse is getting a little anxious and trying to get back in the game and taking some shots that maybe they shouldn't. Should be working around, working for better shots.
Kavovit has it poked away. And Virginia comes up with the loose ball. Virginia trying to run the fast break, but the pass for Sean Miller out of his reach. Virginia getting twice as many shots as Syracuse so far, and credit has to go to Virginia's outstanding attack.
They're a good transition team. They get up and down the field. They have excellent speed, foot speed, and they're not conservative. I think it'll be a very exciting game for a spectator.
Roy Simmons Jr. made those comments before the game, and they've certainly proved prophetic. Virginia running up and down the field, firing lots of shots, and leading 5-2 as we have a timeout on the field with 5:37 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Virginia wanted a timeout there. They wanted to settle it down. 5 minutes left. They have a lead. They might want to slow it down a little more than they usually would now. You know, once you have a lead on Syracuse, you want to force them to come out and play and make mistakes, and that's exactly what's happening.
In years past, prior to Dom Starzio arriving at Virginia, the Cavaliers always had the reputation of having as much talent as just about any team in the country, but never really living up to it. Since he arrived 3 years ago, after spending 10 years as the head coach at Brown, the recruiting has continued to be outstanding, and now Virginia is playing good disciplined lacrosse, and proof in the pudding was last year's appearance in the championship game.
I think he's brought chemistry to the team, and a lot of the players like to coach, and that's important. I think in the past, some of the players haven't agreed with the past coaches, the way he ran the program, and I think they're really meshing and getting together now. Obviously, having a great year last year, and this year having another fine start.
There were 3 preseason polls. Virginia was picked #1 in one of those polls. Syracuse was picked #1 in one of the polls, and Johns Hopkins was #1 in the third. Hopkins will be here on Saturday at 3 in the afternoon. So while we're all a bit obsessed with March Madness and the NCAA tournament, some great lacrosse this week here at the Carrier Dome. 5:30 left in the half. Virginia looking to add to a 3-goal lead. Cavaliers have the ball. This is Tim Whiteley, who has one of the 5 Virginia goals. David Jones being watched by Wittick. Jones going to his left, got around Wittick, shot went wide. Doug Knight was there. There's the shot statistic continuing to favor Virginia by a wide margin. There's a shot just a bit wide by Tony Nugent.
It could have been 6-2 right there. That was off by not more than an inch or two.
John Desko unhappy with the call. Syracuse thought that Rick Beardsley was closest to the line when that shot went out of bounds, but the officials ruled that Virginia was closest. Another shot and a score. Tony Nugent with his second goal of the game. Virginia 6, Syracuse 2.
He's just going one-on-one here. He's got a short stick, and that's what you want when you go one-on-one. Just takes a great shot and beats the goalie over his shoulder. Rozier thought it was going low. Again, we see that move. Double team is just too late there. Great shot, put it in the top corner, but as you can see, anytime you get forced into a one-on-one situation, the defense has to double team much quicker than that.
Virginia wins the face-off. The shot hit the crossbar. Could have very easily been 7-2. Out of bounds. This time Syracuse gets it. Tony Nugent with 2 goals. Senior from Baltimore. .433 left in the half. Virginia up by 4.
I think Syracuse obviously would like to get some goals here. It would definitely help the confidence coming out in the second half, and you get a couple quick ones and make it 6-4, 6-5.
This game the opposite of last year's Final Four game when the Orangemen maintained a big lead almost throughout until a huge Virginia rally in the 4th quarter. Casey Powell has the ball taken away by Tommy Schmidt. And Virginia able to clear. This is Doug Knight, now working behind the cage. Knight using his speed, trying to work past Chad Smith. Passing back to Drew Melchione. Now back to Greg Traynor, who has scored once. Traynor shoots. That bounces high. Tim Whiteley back there for Virginia. Alex Rozier facing an onslaught so far, and Syracuse trailing 6-2.
He's faced 27 shots today. They haven't all been on net, but anytime you see 27, you know it's going to be a long afternoon.
Pass in front, hit the crossbar, bounced behind the cage. Virginia able to come up with a ground ball. Nope, not quite. Goes over the sideline, and Syracuse will get it. Looked like that man, Tim Whiteley, would get to it. He lost it out of bounds. .311 left in the half. Beardsley faked the long bomb and then passed it back to Rozier. Coming into the game, Syracuse had dominated their 2 first halves. Not in this game, certainly. Good pass. Hitting Dave Signor in stride. And Signor gives it back to Roy Colsey. Colsey whips a shot. Went a bit wide. Casey Powell over there for Syracuse. Colsey has 1 goal. He gave Syracuse a 1-0 lead about 3.5 minutes into the game. And Virginia has dominated since.
They're going to be looking for Roy Colsley to lead the team here and come up with a couple big goals. Look for him maybe to go one-on-one again, or maybe get a cut out of the middle.
.225 left in the half. Licamelli with a move. Trying to pass back for Colsey. It was high. Signor retrieves it for Syracuse. Now Colsey. Stopping, shooting, did not get through to Durling. It rolls toward midfield. Batted forward by Schmid. But he crossed midfield and the ball will go to Virginia. .2 minutes left in the half.
see if Virginia here opts to slow it down here and run out the 2 minutes going in at half with a 4-goal lead, or whether they want to make it a 5-goal lead.
David Jones gets around Colsey. Low shot to score. David Jones makes it 7-2 Virginia.
Virginia just isolating on the short sticks out there. Defense here, Royce Square here and just isolating, takes a great shot here. Good defensive pressure and he still gets the shot off. You look at the angle of the shot, that's a tough area for the goalie to make the save. Off hip side like that. That's where you're taught to shoot and you put it right where he should. Tough shot to stop.
Senior David Jones with his first goal of the game. Whistle and a violation on Syracuse. Here comes Virginia. Still a minute and a half left in the half, and the Cavs on top 7-2.
Virginia not letting up, taking it right to them. It's tough when you're down and they keep coming at you. They're getting the ball on the face-offs, and you need something to turn the game around. Big defensive effort or big save.
Whiteley's shot saved by Rozier, but a penalty on Hans Schmid. Called for holding.
That could have been a big save, you know, to change the momentum of the game, but there's a penalty, and that basically wipes out that save.
"30-second holding call on Schmid. Comes with 1:08 left in the half.
Again, he's just out of position here. Now he's behind the player, and you have to go for the stick check, and that's when you get in trouble as a defenseman. Anytime you're behind the man, you're just guessing, and a lot of times you're not going to hit a stick.
Syracuse has been successful, a man down. Virginia 0 for 2 so far, but make it 1 for 3. David Jones with a great shot. The Cavaliers are dominating. It's 8-2 Virginia.
That was just a great shot. Watch the skip pass here. Now it's just an outside shot. Uses a defenseman as a screen there and puts it in the top corner. Couldn't get any closer to that corner. Again, it's tough for the goalie to see. Anytime the defenseman's in front of the shooter, it's tough for the goalie to pick up the ball. Even if he had picked it up, that was a great shot. It might have been tough to save anyways.
Syracuse calls a timeout with 43 seconds left in the half. There's a fairly sizable contingent of Virginia fans here at the Dome, and they're going bananas right behind Virginia's part of the field.
Well, so far, Virginia's game has worked well. They've done exactly what they want to do. Take it right to Syracuse, you know. Play their style, run and gun, and so far they've had the talent. They've had the shots have gone in, and it's working for them.
You see one of the happy Virginia fans. Here comes the last Virginia goal.
Watch how the defenseman gets in between the goalie and the shooter here. Very, very hard for the goalie to see the ball come out of the stick. Look at that, right around the shoulder in the top corner. Rozier doesn't even have a chance till it's in the net.
Alex Rozier, obviously frustrated. Virginia with 5 straight goals over the last 8 minutes. An 8-2 lead as we approach the end of the second quarter. Dom Starzia maintaining an even keel, trying to beat Syracuse and Roy Simmons Jr. for the second consecutive time, doing it in the Final Four roughly 9.5 months ago.
Watch this shot again. Watch how he shoots right around the defenseman. Look at this angle. Right in the top corner. Boy, you don't get too many of those in your career. When a shot you can right in the top corner like that. A shot that, especially that you can shoot around a player and put it in the top corner.
Syracuse finally wins a face-off. This is Sullivan. The Orangemen desperate for a goal. Trailing by 6 with 30 seconds left in the half.
Andy Joyce in the game. see if they look to get him the ball or just distract the defenseman.
Powell running toward the cage. Powell cradling left hand, makes the complete spin. Stepped away from the double team. We're inside of 10 seconds left in the half. Pass attempted for Kavovit. Couldn't get his stick up.
They're frustrated now. He just forced it in there. The defenseman was standing right beside him. They're frustrated. They're going to have to go into the half and think about what's going on and control the ball a little more and get some more shots and win some face-offs.
That's it. The end of the half, and what a half for the Virginia Cavaliers. They have come into the Carrier Dome and dominated 30 minutes of lacrosse. Our halftime score, Virginia 8, Syracuse 2.
Hi, this is Paul Gate with the STX Tip of the Week. If you're having problems catching the ball when you're standing still or when you're on the run, here's some tips that may help you. Always remember to keep the head of your stick up high and in front of you. This way you can watch the ball come into the pocket of your stick. If the stick's back by your ear, you're never going to be able to watch that ball enter your pocket. Another reason is now I can cushion the ball. If my stick's back by my ear, all I can do is jab out and not cushion it. So it's important to keep it out and cushion. Now, once I catch it and cushion it, what position am I in? I'm in a position where I can throw the pass or make the quick stick shot on net. The last reason I want to keep my stick high and out in front is so that in case a bad pass comes, I've got 2 feet to react back and catch that bad pass. So if it comes over here, now I can catch. Much easier to get that stick over there before the ball goes past. All right. Remember, keep practicing this. Make sure you can do it standing still and on the run, and you'll be catching a lot of passes you never thought you could.
A shocking score at the half. It's Virginia 8, Syracuse 2. Dan Hort along with former SU great Paul Gate. We're very close to the top row of the stands here. Someone just yelled up, hey, put a uniform back on. And they weren't talking to me, that's for sure. Syracuse trailing by 6 goals. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. We're going to look at all Virginia lights.
Right here, Virginia's just going one-on-one. Goalie has to actually come out and double team, and he shouldn't be the one doing that and leaves the goal wide open.
That was a one-on-one goal. Here we'll see some great Virginia teamwork.
This is a perfect fast break situation. Draws the defenseman, nice passing, and the shooter buries it, which you expect when you get the ball one-on-one like that.
And when you're hot, you're hot. Here's a good example.
This is just a great shot. People dream about these kinds of shots. I didn't have too many in my career, but shoots around the player and puts it in the top corner. He'll be dreaming about that one for a long time.
Quick question, how do you come back down 6?
Fast break, get the goals, and stop the turnovers, I guess, you know. Retain the ball possession, win the face-offs, basically control all assets of the game.
That's what Syracuse has to try and do. We'll see if the Orangemen can with the second half coming up on Super Sports. Syracuse down by a half dozen as we begin the second half. Dave Signor handling face-off duties for Syracuse. Roy Colsey with a big hit, showing Syracuse's intensity at least coming out of the locker room. But bottom line, Virginia had the ball. I say had because the pass goes wide and Syracuse will get it. Quick look at some first half stats.
Syracuse doubling, getting doubled by Virginia in shots, and obviously you're going to be down when you get outshot by that many. So look for Syracuse to try and get more shots. That's all they can do.
Syracuse lost the ball trying on its first opportunity to get off a shot. And Tommy Smith controls for the Cavaliers. Joe Wilson upfield. There's a hit by Licamelli. It looks like Syracuse is going to be more physical in the second half. Colsey. Weak shot gathered in by Durling. Syracuse definitely showing more intensity to begin the second half. Now Smith loses control, but is able to scoop it up. Virginia with the unsettled opportunity. A little give and go there. Didn't work, but Virginia gets it back. Whiteley behind the cage. Soft pass back out in front, hauled in by Trainer. Now it's Michael Watson. Even with a cage, running in behind, guarded by Christian Fotopoulos. Fotopoulos pokes at it. Now Watson makes his move. Watson in front. Watson shoots and scores. No goal. No goal. The goal is waved off.
In the crease.
Watson went in the crease. A break for Syracuse.
That is a big break for Syracuse. I think Syracuse would like to get the first goal. Look here as he just puts that foot right on the line. It's a great shot, but unfortunately you can't have your foot in the crease.
So Syracuse gets the ball. No goal for Virginia. Here's Hans Schmid. Don Starzia looking on for Virginia. Syracuse in the middle of the field. Fietta lost it. Powell got it back. Right in front. Shot and a score. Jim Morrissey. Wide open off the pass from Casey Powell. And Syracuse, coming out fired up, has cut the margin to 5.
Let's look here. I think the defenseman just basically slid up to cover the oncoming man and left him wide open on the crease. Anytime you get in on the crease, you want to put it right at the feet, and he did. Yeah. Great goal for Syracuse, and it may turn things around.
Ends a stretch of 5 straight for Virginia. I believe that was actually the second goal of the game for Jim Morrissey.
And Syracuse ball here on a turnover by Virginia.
Toby Price with it. Syracuse trying to whittle this lead down to 4. Morrissey, who just scored, makes his move. Guarded closely by Carl Zeller, who's done a nice job in this game. Morrissey's pass just beyond the grasp of Sullivan. Good hustle by Fietta to run it down. Mark Fietta out of Jordan Elbridge. Works in front. Shoots. Kind of a backward shot. Went a little bit wide, but Morrissey was right there for Syracuse. Morrissey passing back to Toby Price. Price operating. Price shoots. Kavovit jumped trying to screen the shot. The race is on. Good hustle by goalie Court Durling.
He just outran the Syracuse attackman there. Anytime the goalie comes out, he wants the ball more than the attackman. And when he's behind you, you don't know he's coming right till the last minute. And I think he surprised the attack there.
Syracuse on the ride, trying to get the ball back. Durling looking. Zeller whipping it upfield. Andrew Dosh is able to get it forward to Tommy Smith. Smith passing to the middle of the field. It's behind his man. It's going toward the sideline. Syracuse won't necessarily get it. Tremendous hustle by Virginia to keep it in bounds, and the Cavs have it, but not for long. Fotopoulos picking off the pass. And Virginia called for failure to advance the ball.
Once it's inside that offensive box, it can only be outside again for 15 seconds. So they failed to get it back in within that time.
12 minutes left in the third quarter.
Look at this save here. What a great save coming up here.
Colsey with the ball for Syracuse. Colsey shoots. Went wide. Kavovit behind the cage for Syracuse. Fans are really getting into it, trying to inspire the Orangemen, down by 5. Now it's Casey Powell. He goes one-on-one. Look to pass to Kavovit, and Virginia will get the ball.
This is a great look. He just couldn't handle the pass there.
Not a good night thus far for Kavovit. Obviously plenty of time left. Durling running upfield. Kavovit tries to pressure him. Does get him to make a soft pass, but it is hauled in by David Jones. Jones firing upfield. Watson. Beardsley pokes. Watson passing back to Tony Nugent. Nugent with 2 goals tonight. Virginia leading 8-3. Nugent beats Colsey. Shot goes wide. Knight is there.
Watch him get beat here. Roy just looking like he's lazy. Gives him the inside and he takes it. You don't want to give him that inside. Like I said, you want to stay between the man and the net. Roy Colsey not doing it there.
Syracuse had a little shot of momentum. Virginia trying to put an end to that. Shot taken there by Greg Traynor, and after he fired the shot, he took a hit. Tim Whiteley being hit by Hans Schmid. Now it's back to David Jones. Jones with a couple of goals. Jones shot stopped by Rozier, regained by Virginia. Cavs can't get off a shot. It's on the back of the net. Syracuse finally comes up with it. Rozier firing to Beardsley. Beardsley, quick pass to Wittick. Wittick draws a defender, trying to run past midfield. Swipe from behind by Watson, but it goes right back to Wittick. Cavovit will be covered by Joe Wilson. Topoulos running off the field. Colsey. Colsey makes his move, cradling with the left hand. Colsey passes in front. Loose on the turf. Morrissey. And Syracuse called for interference. It goes to Virginia. The Cavs work it quickly up the sideline.
Substitution on blue.
And the Cavs called for a legal substitution. A break there for Syracuse, giving the Orangemen the ball back.
Unforced error by Virginia. They haven't had many of those this game, and sure the coach wasn't happy with that.
Cavovit's pass behind the back shot, fired high by Powell. Morrissey was behind the cage for Syracuse, so the Orangemen hold on to the ball.
Syracuse trying to look for the guys in the middle now instead of taking that shot from the outside.
Colsey shoots high. The race is on. Durling is there. No, check that. Cavovit was closest to the end line, according to the nearest official. The Cavaliers argue, but Syracuse gets the ball. There's the score. Cavs up 5. Powell hustles after it for Syracuse. Now Powell lost it without even being checked. It does go to Syracuse. Morrissey tried to get off the shot, and they're saying he was in the crease.
John Desko not happy there with that call.
9 minutes left in the third. Syracuse down by 5. It's 1-0 Syracuse here in the third quarter, after trailing 8-2 at the half. Syracuse has scored 10 or more goals in its last 31 games, so that streak is on the line, with Syracuse stuck on 3 goals at this moment. More importantly, a 23-game home winning streak on the line. Andrew Dosh past Schussler. Shot saved by Rozier. Ground ball controlled by Syracuse. Schussler passing to Rozier. Way upfield to Chad Smith. Crowd comes to life as Smith runs forward. Passes to Cavovit. Swinging it around to Morrissey.
Virginia doing a good job getting back in the hole there. Syracuse had no fast break there.
And Virginia has recovered quickly throughout when Syracuse has had a few opportunities.
They are a very fast team. They're outrunning Syracuse all over the field, and when they talk about speed, I think Virginia has most of it.
Fietta shoots. Good save by Durling. Durling helping in the clear. Tommy Smith now finds the open man for Virginia. Here come the Cavaliers. Michael Watson has not scored a goal yet in this game. Watson gets by Beardsley. Watson with a tremendous goal. And the Cavaliers lead 9-3.
Good individual effort. He's just going one-on-one again against a big stick. Makes a nice move here. He goes over the head, holds on to the ball, and just scoops it into the net, right between the legs. good individual effort. Again here, he's protecting the ball well, tucks it just right at the perfect moment. He's able to get that shot off. Not much the defenseman can do about that. The big thing is you don't want to go over his head when he's in that close to the net. That's something you want to save when you're out around the corners of the field.
Syracuse comes up with a face-off. Colsey with the ball. The difference is 6. Colsey shoots. Had an open shot. Fired it wide. That's indicative of the way this game has gone. Watson scoring from his stomach for Virginia. Colsey with an opportunity that he often capitalizes on, and his shot was wide. Colsey cranking it up. Shot wide again.
The Virginia defense are staying right with the Syracuse attack players and not letting them get that extra opportunity or extra time to get the shot off. I think that's the difference. They're not getting open right at the last minute when they want to take that shot. There's always pressure on the bottom hand or on their stick.
Dave Signor looks to operate for Syracuse. Pass in front. Colsey's shot hits the post. Colsey gets it back. Passes for Kavavet. Run down behind by Jackson. The pass to Kavavet. Swings it around to Colsey. Colsey will crank it up. And Durling was there for Virginia. And the Virginia fans love it.
Virginia goaltenders just playing outstanding here. Not letting Syracuse have any easy goals.
Powell working. Checked away by Tommy Smith. And the Syracuse area high school product doing a terrific job on Casey Powell throughout this game.
The Virginia defense isn't even having to double team. They're going one-on-one and staying with the Syracuse attack players. You know, Syracuse wants to beat that first man and draw the double team. Here's a look. No double team comes, he just takes the ball away. Simple as that, right over his head. Syracuse normally has a lot of opportunities where they beat that defenseman and score. Not tonight, though.
Syracuse able to clear. Hans Schmid with the ball. Virginia with 10 more shots. Syracuse has cut down the margin considerably in the second half, but not too many of those shots have been on goal in the second half for Syracuse, or from close range. A little more than 5 minutes left in the quarter. Syracuse down by a half dozen. This is Doug Jackson.
Back left, you're good. Let's Pixie go through. He's got it.
Way behind the cage. Jackson now in front. Double team, knocked down, lost the ball, and the Cavaliers have it. The big stick, Ginter shoots, and the bounce shot goes past the cage. Chris Ginter, 43, cranking it up for Virginia. Pass in front, Doug Knight will shoot. Shot goes wide, and Tim Whiteley, the closest man for Virginia. A look at Sean Miller and Syracuse head coach Roy Simmons Jr. Whiteley, past Schmid.
Now Virginia withholding the ball, pulling the stick up against his chest. Here's a
successful clear by Syracuse. Chad Smith. Smith holds it. Smith trying to pass in front. We'll have a penalty on Virginia.
You know Syracuse is having a tough time when again the big stick has to try and beat a man one-on-one for a shot.
Joe Wilson called for that penalty, and it's a 1-minute slashing call, so Syracuse will have a minute with a man advantage, trailing 9-3. Shot and a score. Paul Carcaterra looked like it, or sounded like it hit the post and went in.
He gets a ball, he's just going to crank up and shoot right at the bottom corner. Hits the bottom corner pipe and up into the net. If you listen, you can hear it hit the pipe. There you go. Look at that.
Well, those number 19s are always good in the man-up situation. And Syracuse has pulled it back to within 5. However, Virginia with an opportunity. Rozier comes up with a big save. Tried to get rid of it quickly to Signor, and it goes right back to Virginia. Good save by Rozier, but a little bit hasty in trying to find the man upfield. Bounce shot over the crossbar, and Doug Knight behind the goal for Virginia. There's your score with 3:30 left in the quarter. Sean Miller being watched by Colsey. Miller coming back from major knee surgery he had in the last offseason. You can see he has a knee pad on his left knee. Incidentally, a member of the Syracuse team. There's a quick shot and a goal. Doug Knight surprised Syracuse with a quick slash toward the goal, and the lead is right back to 6.
Defense got caught sleeping on that one and just backdoored him. Here's a look here. He's just feeding. As you can see, the defenseman is standing still, just trying to take a swing in his stick. He's already beaten by that point. There's a good angle there. His defenseman just out of position again.
Second goal for Doug Knight. I was about to mention that Andy Rodriguez of Syracuse, a transfer from Penn, had knee surgery in New York City today to repair a damaged ligament. He will miss the rest of the season. Big stick shot attempt by Chris Ginter. His second shot in the last several minutes. Virginia holds on to the ball. This is Whiteley being watched by Hans Schmid. Passed way back, and Greg Traynor has it. Tony Nugent being guarded by Signor. Less than 2.5 minutes remain in the quarter. Shot by Nugent, picked up by Beardsley of Syracuse. Here comes Colsey. 2:10 left in the quarter. Colsey's pass in front. Powell shoots and scores. Penalty flag goes up, but it will be against Virginia, and the goal will count. Casey Powell on the board, and it's 10-5 Virginia.
Roy Colsey's going to see Powell in the middle, spots him, hits him, does a good job protecting his stick. As you can see, he's hit right in the head as he gets that shot off. One more time, here's a look. Nice cut.
Powell with a goal and an assist tonight. Syracuse has cut it back to 5. That has happened 3 times in the third quarter, but the Orangemen have not been able to get it down to 4. We also have a slashing penalty on Virginia and a 1-minute violation. Syracuse controls the faceoff. That's big. Toby Price coming through. So the Orangemen have the ball with a 1-man advantage and a chance to cut it to 4. We saw Joe Wilson briefly in the box for Virginia. 35 seconds left in the man up. Powell behind to Kavovit, swinging to Morrissey. Morrissey gets it back. Now it's Kavovit in front. Powell shoots. And the race is on. The race is won by Virginia. Good pass by Kavovit. Quick shot by Powell, but it was high.
Syracuse looking to get higher percentage shots there by putting the ball in the middle instead of shooting from the outside.
Virginia trying to advance it into the box to release the penalty. Syracuse holds on to the ball. We have a penalty. Christian Fotopoulos of Syracuse. Bad penalty to take. 1 second left in the Virginia penalty.
Number 27, 1 minute, illegal touch.
Here's that loose ball situation. Just hitting hard in there. Here's a good hit there by Colsley. Look at this hit by Colsley here. Right on the front of the body. Good hit.
That was legal. Then you see Fotopoulos coming in from behind. Had to stick out wide and hit the Virginia player right in the back. And he's in the box for a minute. We have roughly a minute left in the third quarter. Syracuse down by 5. Shot goes wide. Virginia is there. 45 seconds left in the quarter. 35 left in the Syracuse penalty. It was 8-2 at halftime, Virginia. Syracuse nearly took it away. Now the pass in front, quick shot, saved by Rozier. Virginia player in the crease. It's got to go to Syracuse.
Oh, it's a call to push there. Wow. They're going to call a push against Syracuse, so it'll be Virginia ball. Here's a look here. See if he's pushed in from behind. There he is.
Right there, Mike Smiley.
Pushed right on the back.
Big guy from West Jenny. And West, beg your pardon, Virginia gets another goal as Sean Miller gets on the scoreboard. And the lead is back to 6 at 11-5.
Mike Smiley might be happy with himself after that goal. Syracuse just trying to play a little too aggressive in there on defense, and it cost them that time. Here's the goal here. Nice shot to the top corner, bounce shot. Virginia's shooting has just been great tonight. Their percentage has been great. They're hitting the corners. They're putting it past Rozier, all the right spots.
Syracuse comes away with a ground ball. Here's Beardsley. 6 seconds left in the quarter. No time to waste, obviously. Beardsley will crank it up. He realizes how much time is left. Well, he'll hold on to the ball. Drops it over the crossbar after the period comes to an end, but that's the end of the quarter, and although Syracuse came out much more aggressive than they had been in the first half, the difference is the same. It's Virginia 11, Syracuse 5. Dan Horton, former SU great Paul Gate, back at the Dome where Virginia leads Syracuse by 7 goals. Michael Watson scoring quickly. 7 seconds into the fourth quarter, the Cavaliers have their biggest lead.
And again, right off the faceoff, he's going to pick up the ball and just, again, off the fast break, just pass it over to the open man. He takes a shot and scores. Right in the top corner. Virginia is shooting well today.
Virginia 12, Syracuse 5. Now the Orangemen need face-offs in a big way. And the Orangemen get the ball. They would have had it anyway, but violation had been called on Virginia anyway. A humbling night to this point for Syracuse. The Orangemen looking to get back at Virginia after losing in last year's Final Four. Tommy Smith knocked the ball off Casey Powell's stick again. That has been a recurring theme tonight. Smith has played great in front of hometown fans who watched him at Fayetteville Manlius.
Maybe the Virginia defense is looking to prove themselves tonight against Syracuse and done a great job so far.
Quick shot saved by Rozier. Beardsley knocked the stick out of Watson's hand, but it didn't matter. It rolled over the sideline and Watson was closest. Virginia with 18 more shots, more importantly 7 more goals. Goalie Court Durling has played well for the Cavs. Hard to fault Alex Rozier, the Syracuse goalie, considering the onslaught he has faced tonight. Virginia can afford to be patient, up 7 in the fourth quarter.
Virginia's just slowing it down, waiting to take advantage of a one-on-one out in the corner here, just like they're doing. Slow it down again.
David Jones, watched by Christian Fotopoulos. Jones whips the shot, and Whiteley is right there for Virginia. Virginia beat Princeton 11-4 last Saturday. Princeton certainly one of the top teams in the country again this year, defending national champs. They lead Syracuse by 7 goals. That's going to be a penalty on Syracuse. Shot stopped by Rozier, but Virginia will have the man up. Anyway, the point I was going to make is when the next poll comes out, gotta like Virginia.
Here's a look here at the penalty.
44-1 slash.
Called upon a slash there. Didn't look like much of a slash, but they called it.
Fourth man-up opportunity for Virginia. A little more than 13 minutes left in the game. Syracuse in the zone defense. Down a man. Pretty much forced to do that when you're down a man. Good opportunity there for Virginia, but Knight could not control the pass.
Bounce passes are tough to hold on to. Tough pass to make when you're in that tight.
This is Beardsley. Gets around the double team. Look for Kavovit. Kavovit passes to Morrissey. Check that, Fietta. Now it's Morrissey. Penalty is released. Syracuse back to full strength. Toby Price joins Syracuse's offensive effort. Number 12. Sullivan has the ball. Now he hands off to Price. Morrissey behind the cage to Kavovit. Kavovit cradling with the left hand. Hits the cutter. Price. Price did not shoot. Lost it out of bounds, and Virginia has it. It looked like when he just made the pass, he might have had a chance to shoot.
Well, I think the defenseman hit him right as he caught the pass and threw him off balance. You know, just good defensive play.
11:40 remaining, and Virginia leads by a whopping 7 goals. It's 12-5. Here's Tim Whiteley. Virginia junior, so he'll be back next year.
Virginia just looking to slow it down now. Maybe draw another penalty or take a man one-on-one when they get the opportunity.
Harmar Thompson swinging it to Greg Traynor. Virginia's played a very smart game. Now Traynor beats Fotopoulos, but the shot is directly into the stands.
Again, they're waiting for Syracuse to make the mistake and go over the head. Here's a good example here. They're waiting for the defense to make that mistake, go over the head. He misses, and that gives him the open shot.
And Syracuse has to do some gambling, try and get the ball back down 7.
Well, Syracuse has the talent on defense to do it, but they're struggling tonight on the stick check.
Good pass by Beardsley upfield to Sullivan. Powell. Bad angle. Shot saved by Durling. Durling comes out of the cage to try and come up with a ground ball. Big hit there applied by Fietta. Ball loose on the turf. Virginia uses its speed to run it down. Michael Watson passing to Tim Whiteley. Shot. Goal.
Nice shot again, right in that top corner.
Drew Melchione adding his name to the tally.
Rozier not happy with himself there. Here's a look at that goal. He just has time and takes the outside crank shot right in the top corner.
Fourth goal of the year for Melchione. (13-5) Virginia. 10 minutes and 19 seconds remain.
Face-offs becoming very important for Syracuse at this point.
And Virginia comes up with a ground ball. Syracuse nearly had a takeaway.
Step to the crease.
And Syracuse, Andy Joyce appeared to step in the crease. Syracuse's all-time dome record coming into the game tonight, 88-5. So Virginia appears to be on the verge of adding its name to some pretty exclusive company, the teams that have come in here and beat Syracuse. And again, Syracuse had a 23-game dome winning streak at the start of the night.
If Syracuse should lose this, it's going to be a pretty big loss, and it's going to sit in their minds all for the rest of the season, and they hope they're going to get a chance to play them again. Great save there.
That Syracuse can't clear. Virginia
flagged down.
And the call will go against Syracuse, either Schmidt or Smith. Now another penalty flag. Looked like it might be on Beardsley.
43 White has a 1-minute slash so far. We got another one. 47.
Smith for the 1-minute slash, and Beardsley will join him for something away from the action.
It's showing his frustration, I believe.
1 minute, unsportsmanlike conduct, unreleasable on Beardsley.
Also has a 1-minute, unsportsmanlike, non-releasable.
Syracuse 2 men down with 9:19 left in the game, trailing 13-5.
At this point, Syracuse doesn't even want to be one man down, and taking the extra penalty, that's really going to hurt them here.
Minute slashing 47, a minute unsportsmanlike.
The only schools to come into the Carrier Dome and beat Syracuse are Cornell, the Big Red did it twice, Cortland State, Johns Hopkins, and North Carolina.
Here's a look at that penalty. Again, a slash right up around the head area, right off the top of the head. I happened to be here in '87 when we lost to Cornell in the Dome. Wasn't very much fun.
19-6, the final in that game, and strangely enough, the 5 times Syracuse has lost in the Dome have all been relatively lopsided games. They've never lost a nail-biter at home. 13-7, 19-6, 16-10, 18-12, and 19-13. So the fact that Virginia is up by 8 here is unusual in the sense that Syracuse has almost never lost in the Dome. And yet, the few times they have, 6 to 9 goals has generally been the margin.
Well, that's because I think in any close game, I think Syracuse uses the fans and the home field advantage and generally pulls those close games out. But unfortunately, when you're down by this many goals, you just don't have the opportunity to do that.
Two players in the box for Syracuse. Good deflection there by Patopoulos. The ball goes into the crowd. Virginia will hold on.
Right off the helmet, yeah, right off the back of the helmet there. Didn't seem to faze him too much.
Syracuse hustling after it, trying to come up with a ground ball. This is Doug Knight of Virginia, number 7. He's played a strong game tonight. Hard to pinpoint someone for Virginia who hasn't. Hit the pipe. And that's it for the Syracuse penalties.
Well, there was a good opportunity there right off the pipe. Virginia looking to add to their lead.
Well, the good news is that Syracuse had 2 men down and Virginia didn't score. The bad news is that Virginia took another minute off the clock.
I think Virginia is very happy taking a minute off the clock at this point with 8 minutes and 16 seconds left.
13-5, the Cavaliers on top. Quick shot, hit the side of the net, did not go in, and Rozier passes upfield to Fotopoulos. He thought he had it and did not. David Jones takes it back. Whiteley, watched by Schmid. This is Nugent.
Again, they're just going to wait for Syracuse to make a mistake here. Apply a little pressure, and there you go. 1-on-1.
Nugent shoots and scores. It's 14-5, Virginia. Third goal of the night for Tony Nugent.
He's just taking them 1-on-1 up the side here. Gets to a certain point, just shoots right around them. Again, great shot. Tough to stop if they're hitting the right spots on the net. He's pushing them out, just what you want to do. Not a bad defensive effort. One thing you may want to do is get a stick on that bottom hand, just as he's about to shoot, try to throw that shot out. You look where the shot went, it was right off the pipe, so it was a great shot, and they've been great all night for Virginia.
Syracuse calls the timeout with 7:30 left in the game, trailing 14-5.
Some of the fans look like they're getting ready to leave here as they make their way to the exits. I guess they feel it's too much for Syracuse to come back now.
Syracuse trying to comfort goalie Alex Rozier, who wanted so badly to beat Virginia after giving up that overtime goal to Michael Watson.
And he hasn't played that bad. A lot of it, they're just great shots that are getting past him. There's not too many goalies, if any, out there that are going to stop a lot of these shots. I mean, they're hitting corners. Every shot's going off the pipe. I mean, tough to stop. Tough for anybody to stop.
5,671 the official attendance tonight.
Playing decent. You got to be ready to clear the ball first. If you want to get off in a hurry.
Quite a night for the Virginia Cavaliers and head coach Dom Starzia. Looks like Virginia will be 5-0. Syracuse 2-1, barring an unbelievable comeback in the last 7:30.
Look at Coach Simmons. Doesn't look too happy.
Not a lot of time to regroup. We'll take on Hopkins on Saturday. There's a penalty against Virginia.
They call him for pushing him on the back there.
So Andrew Dosh heads to the penalty area for 30 seconds. The last time Syracuse failed to score 10 or more goals in a game was the national championship loss to Princeton 3 years ago. 10-9 the final in that one in OT. Colsey shoots and scores. Man up goal for Syracuse. Roy Colsey with his second goal tonight.
He gets the pass up top and he just takes the outside crank shot. At this point, they're pretty frustrated. They're going to take anything they can get. And Roy's having a tough night. He wanted to make sure he got a shot and a good goal there.
14-6 the score. Toby Price wins the face-off, passes to Colsey. Colsey shoots, saved by Durling. He manages to get it forward to Joe Wilson. Virginia up by 8. Doug Knight passing backward. Stopped by Harmar Thompson. Watson wisely holding the ball, killing time. We're down to 6:20.
Again, just waiting for Syracuse to make a mistake here.
Ben Johnson has it behind the Syracuse goal. Toby Price pokes at him. Johnson spinning.
When they get the short stick behind, they're just looking for that one-on-one and basically looking to outrun them from behind. Get that shot off up top.
Knight watched by Smith. Smith tries for the takeaway, gambling a bit. Knight loses it. Schmid has it. So Syracuse successful there. But Virginia did take quite a bit of time off the clock. Beardsley lost it. Beardsley gets it back. And Beardsley runs away from two Virginia players. Now it's Beardsley looking for the open man. Spots Colsey. Colsey shoots and shoots it wide. Nice pass by Beardsley.
Yeah, good opportunity for Roy Colsley. He's got to make those shots. Doesn't miss too many.
This is Doug Jackson for Syracuse. Carcaterra, who has one goal. And Syracuse sets up. Colsey with 5:22 remaining. Colsey passing to the middle. Joyce lost it. Joyce will get it back. Socks up, Lawrence Moulton style. Good pass to Colsey and a brilliant goal by Roy Colsey off the feed from Andy Joyce. It's 14-7, Virginia.
That was a great goal. Joyce spots Colsey cutting to the middle. He catches it with a stick right in his face and between the legs. Shades of Gary Gait there. Here's that look again, right in front between the legs. What a shot.
Well, it's probably the highlight of the night. Unfortunately, it has only reduced the Virginia lead to 7, but the Orangemen have scored 2 in a row. They hadn't done that all night. And Syracuse gets another face-off. Had another face-off.
Having trouble picking up that loose ball. No pressure on him either.
Rourke Denver couldn't pick it up with a big stick.
Flag down. Looks like it'll be a slash penalty.
Ted Smith did not like the call.
Here it is here. Just catches him, I think, on the top of the helmet. Not happy at all.
Foul and white legal procedure. It's a technical foul, 30 seconds of legal procedure.
There's another call. Illegal procedure on Syracuse as well.
Longtime assistant coach John Desko in his 16th year assisting Roy Simmons is hot. Minute on Chad Smith.
Looks as though they're going to be down for a minute and a half. I believe they gave that other 30-second technical to Chad as well.
So a minute for the slash and 30 seconds for the illegal procedure. It's a football score, 14-7, Virginia. Not much Syracuse can do to try and get the ball back during this penalty.
Taking their time on this man up, and they have plenty of it.
4 minutes left in the game. Syracuse down by 7. Bounce shot saved by Rozier. And gets it forward to Wittek. Wittek looping it way upfield. Bounces over Derling.
See whether they call that a shot or not. No, looks like they call it a pass.
How much, Kyle?
23 seconds remain in the penalty. 3 minutes and 35 seconds remain in the game.
See here if they opt to take another shot. Well, they still have some time remaining in the penalty, or hold on to it.
There's the shot, hit the pipe. Goes out of bounds. And Fotopoulos was closest, so Syracuse will get it with 3:13 left. And the Orangemen will be back at full strength.
So look at that shot off the pipe. Again, there's been a lot of those tonight. Virginia's shooting very accurately tonight.
Chad Smith will shoot. Shot went wide. Syracuse still has it with 3:02 left.
Again, the defense trying to make something happen in the offensive end.
Colsey operating. Penalty flag up on the play. 2:45 left in the game. Incidentally, we want to pass along our best wishes.
Here it is here. There it is, the slash. Right on top of the head.
Want to take the opportunity to pass along our best wishes to the family of our usual color commentator, Dale Drypolcher. Dale couldn't be with us tonight because of illness in the family. We certainly hope all is well and wish his mom a speedy recovery. Roy Colsey shoots. Save made by Court Durling. Kept in bounds by Virginia. Cavs hustling, even up 14-7.
The timeout, Virginia.
And it comes with 2:22 remaining.
I believe he just wanted to retain possession, slow it down.
Well, with 2:22 left and the likelihood of a first defeat this season, I guess the question is, how do you bounce back?
Well, I think Syracuse obviously needs to work on their transition game. They practiced quite a bit on that, and tonight the passing just didn't seem to be crisp. They weren't beating their men one-on-one. You know, they weren't even forcing Virginia to double team a lot of times, and you have to do that if you're going to be a transition team, which Syracuse is.
And I guess the good news is, if you're going to lose, third game of the season isn't a bad time to lose. Plenty of time to try and bounce back.
And that's why, look at the shots there, 55-34.
And you see the consistency by Virginia. Double figures in every quarter.
He's having a tough night. Faced a lot of shots tonight.
We began the telecast tonight with the arresting image of Alex Rozier hanging his head in frustration after giving up that goal last year in the NCAA semifinals. Wanted to end the telecast with him smiling after an outstanding performance tonight. And although he played extremely well, especially early, doesn't look like Rozier will have the satisfaction of a little payback against Virginia, at least not tonight. 1:50 left in the game. And the whistle blows as a Virginia player is hurt on the turf, reaching for the right ankle.
I think the Syracuse, here's a look at that play. Just putting the body on him. Looks like he got him up in the head there. Looks like he twisted his ankle as he made the turn there. That'll happen on the turf. it grabs your shoes, and it doesn't. Your foot that isn't allowed to slide out from underneath you like it would on natural grass. So
Tony Nugent is the player down. He's had a terrific game tonight. And he's able to put weight on it, although he's limping a bit on the right leg. Looks like Nugent will be okay.
I think Syracuse is going to have to go back and rethink the way the defense is played tonight. I mean, they're supposed to be one of the top-rated defenses in the country, and they got ran by, they got ran around. It was just a tough night for them, and they might want to work on their positioning a little bit more.
Virginia leading 14-7. Down to 1:25 left in the game. Whiteley draws the penalty from Syracuse. And 3 penalty flags go up. Schmidt is on the field. He appears to be hurt.
Schmidt just trying to take the ball away here, make something happen. Looks like he's withholding the ball there a little, and just up and down, looks like a hold.
Schmidt still down for Syracuse.
Schmidt was all over him on that play.
Tim Neal and the Syracuse training staff will come out to take a look.
44, White. 30-second technical, hold. 47, White. 1 minute, unnecessary roughness.
Beardsley called for a late hit after the play. Unnecessary roughness. A little frustration again.
And a hand for second-year captain Hans Schmid, who walks off the field under his own power. Injuries haven't been kind to Syracuse this season. We've mentioned Andy Rodriguez, who had knee surgery today. Ian Gorman will have knee surgery in the coming weeks, and we know about the outstanding Syracuse player Matt Doyle, who will miss this season with a knee problem. We have about 1 minute left in the game. Virginia leading 14-7. Virginia can hold on to the ball basically for that minute if it chooses.
Syracuse being 2-man down right now gives them the added advantage.
Syracuse comes up with the ball. Perhaps one last chance. Rozier firing upfield. Joyce has it. Couldn't get it forward to a teammate, Fotopoulos, and here comes Virginia with 25 seconds left in the game. The pass, the shot, the score. Doug Knight off nice teamwork by Virginia. A good night for Doug Knight.
Here's a look. Look at this passing here. Fakes the shot here. And good ball movement. Basically an empty net on that one.
Third goal of the game for Doug Knight. Excellent balance for Virginia tonight. Inside of 20 seconds left in the game. Paul Sullivan with the ball for Syracuse. Mark Fietta would like to score. Passing back to Sullivan, who shoots. And it was knocked down by Tommy Smith. And that's the ball game as Virginia becomes the 5th team ever to come into the Carrier Dome and beat Syracuse. And the Cavaliers did it in convincing fashion, beating Syracuse by a 15-7 final score. Syracuse has 85 victories here in the Carrier Dome and 6 defeats. There they are. Cornell has done it twice. Portland State, Johns Hopkins, North Carolina, and now Virginia once. The Cavaliers beating Syracuse by 8 goals this evening. Dom Starzi has done it twice in a row to Syracuse. He did it in the Final Four last year and pulled it off tonight here in the Carrier Dome. Well, for each of our telecasts here on Super Sports, we'll name a Syracuse player of the game. And tonight, we give that to Roy Colsey, who scored 3 of Syracuse's 7 goals. Well, a tough one for Syracuse tonight. We certainly didn't anticipate Virginia beating Syracuse by 8. Paul, as you've remarked, Syracuse has time and knows what it has to do to try to get back in gear for Saturday's game against Johns Hopkins.
Well, they got a tough game coming up against Hopkins here, and the Hopkins coaches were here tonight, and they had a good look at what they can do to beat Syracuse. So, we'll see what happens Saturday.
Virginia 5-0 with the win. Syracuse 2.